All right, cyber traders, welcome on back for our afternoon meeting here this Friday, TGIF August 28th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, guys. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. The SPY is crawling back up to 350 there, at least going into the afternoon. Great to see all of us. Lori, Greg, you guys are coming in way too fast. All of you guys inside the trading room. Of course, I say that in great light. Great to see everybody. And of course, all of us streaming across social media right now, Facebook and YouTube Live. So guys, for all of us inside the trading room, at least, keep in mind that we have the Phase 2 stock course finishing up today, our last class of the week, Phase 2 Lesson 4. That will be coming up at 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, really quickly, I know that we have a bunch of new trial members inside our trading room. The class I'm referencing right now is not part of your trial. This is a paid course that our students who are currently enrolled into our program are taking. If you'd like to learn more about what the class is, what the class entails and what's included with the curriculum, just make sure that you guys talk to your education advisor. They're your main point of contact here at CTU during your trial. I'm just referencing to some of us here inside the trading room. So without further ado, guys, because class is on the horizon, let's just chop down this list from top to bottom. The FTSI, just going into the afternoon, I will just put this on our list to begin. I did have Benzinga Pro up, and I wanted to copy and paste the news with this just on the screen to start. I would copy and paste news if there was news. I'm looking here right now, at least no headline. Oh, here we go, little something. This was at least from 12:13 p.m. Eastern time, folks, on the FTSI trade. Gained 25% at least after falling 19% yesterday. FTS International on Monday announced an agreement with majority of its secured debt holders on restructuring support agreement to convert over $400 million of debt to equity. That was Monday's news. But yeah, I guess right now a very strong run up. I don't know if there's any other headlines out there. I don't see any from Benzinga Pro. For right now, obviously, we'll put this on our list. The thing that concerns me now at this point, because I saw a bunch of us kill it on the long trade just before this meeting started, including Andrea. I saw Andrea inside our trading room. He was in from like 460-ish. He ended up getting $1.07 on the trade. He exited right at 572. So it was prior to the halt. What goes up, unfortunately, comes right back down. I don't think this got halted on the way back down, but for what it's worth, with this down off the halt, I don't know if this is going to run right back up. This might be the end of the run here. We'll put this on our watch list again, and we're going to watch it. Doesn't mean we'll trade it. Hopefully it ends up running right back up, closing strong. All right, let's go from top to bottom here now. PSV, this was another pump and dump-esque move. We saw this run earlier in the afternoon. I saw Jerry pick up a bunch of money on this trade in and out, like 5-10 cents a pop. Yeah, though, pump and dump. What goes up comes back down. Well, EDSA ain't coming back down yet, I'll tell you that. EDSA, 511,000 shares traded so far today, barely scraping above the minimum that I would look for at this time. Spread's kind of wacky too, so this is certainly not a level one stock, but obviously nice trend. We've seen this stock already pump and dump once over the last month or so here. So you can see back from the end of actually July, ended up running up in pre-market probably, opened up at 15, topped off at 19, closed at 873. Pump and dump. So yeah, this stock is prone to making that type of move, at least for right now. It's exactly where we would want it to be in terms of the chart. So yeah, EDSA I'll put on our list for right now. Hopefully it doesn't dump right back down. If there's a bunch of these on our list, guys, I might have to scrap one or two off. Like ANY looks really good. It's trading a lot more volume per minute. The spreads are tighter, I'll tell you that much. Making a similar move up. I don't know if it's for the same reason. I'll just at least look at the news on ANY. And again, kind of same thing on Benzinga Pro. I don't really have a headline here for the ANY stock. All right, so be it. Not going to look into it much further. But yeah, for right now, ANY I like the most, or at least I certainly like more compared to that EDSA based on the liquidity alone. VVPR still holding kind of strong near the highs. Ended up making a new high earlier, of course. Ended up making this pop and drop from 7, which was, kind of expected. But yeah, I mean, similar, if not better. I mean, this stock is trading even more volume. The liquidity checks out. I mean, it's still kind of moving up and down quite a bit per minute, but hopefully this ends up making a stronger pop up towards 7 going into the afternoon. NTNX, this was on my earnings list, if I'm not mistaken. I thought this was earnings related. It was on my calendar, I believe. I'm actually working right from the office today, not my home office. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I don't have the calendar in front of me that I normally go through. But NTNX was earnings based. They ended up having better than expected Q4 EPS. So we ended up seeing them make a phenomenal run after the open. And I called it out earlier going into the afternoon, trying to break the new high, but unfortunately made the pop and drop from 28.50. It just seems pretty flat right now. I mean, there's a bit of a range, but for right now, just we'll kind of see if there's anything looking better in terms of direction. Liquidity is there, definitely. NSYS, pump and dump, and I just feel like it's going to be flat for the remainder of the day. All right, I'll just kind of skip through here, guys. I mean, it's a Friday. It's a summer Friday. It's also the last like real Friday of the summer. So you got to imagine, a lot of the market makers, bigger traders out there, I mean, if they're even trading, they're probably having their assistants do the work for them. So I'm not anticipating a whole lot, guys, going into today, going into the end of the day today. I know that most of us will be in class later on this afternoon, and actually in class we'll be actually going over these picks live. So be a nice treat. FBIO. I don't mind putting this on our list for right now. I say that because the stock ended up taking a little while to get the gears going, but once it did, ended up making a nice run. I wouldn't expect this as much to make a second clean push into the afternoon. Hopefully it ends up pushing back up to 4, but otherwise I'd say more so than anything, it is shortable. Hasn't crapped out too much just yet, so for right now we'll put it on. Dave & Buster's play. This looks probably the best already just on the 5-minute. Yeah, look at this thing go. So play, we're familiar with this stock, guys, Dave & Buster's, and I had mentioned this actually in the afternoon meeting earlier this week. When I look at play, I'll look at Six Flags. They move, not perfectly together, but somewhat similarly. They're kind of in the same business. You saw Six Flags make a really nice run yesterday. Called it out briefly. And Dave & Buster's play yesterday ended up making a similar type of pop after the open. Right, but this one much stronger right now at this point in the day. This one's going to be on the top of our list, guys. This is stock number 1 so far. I like this one. TRVN, kind of a bust from earlier on today, right? We had this on our morning watch list, if I'm not mistaken. I guess, for what it's worth, it did all right going into the late morning. I know most of us were in class at this time, so after the market opened, it dumped off. It made a small bounce from 170, shot up towards 2, but ended up dying off after. Got our Givo trade also, pre-market run that we had leading into the market open. This one was a better play, at least. Took a while to hold support, but get the pop after. All right, that leads us to Mara, up 13+%. When I look at Mara, I look at Riot, and for what it's worth, I normally don't put these stocks on the afternoon watch list going into the close. I know that Bitcoin, all the altcoins, all the cryptocurrency stuff, it got beat up this week. Well, I bring that up because, really, Riot and Mara were kind of holding strong the last few days. I ended up chickening out on my swing trade actually yesterday, and then I re-entered it today. Thankfully, I got in right before this giant pop. I posted that right at like 11:49 Eastern time, or roughly after this consolidation. But I wouldn't expect these to make big day trade moves going into the close. Every time I've put these on our list, maybe all but once, they ended up kind of being a bust in the afternoon. There was one instance where I put them on and it was right, but that's because they were down like 15-20% that day. So, if they're not going to continue running down, you figure it's going to squeeze up. Either way, right now, this Mara trade, Riot, they're not looking too great for the afternoon. If Bitcoin makes a crazy pop, it wouldn't surprise me if those push, but, I'm not going to bank on that. Ooh, what's this? RNet, RNET. Spreads are tight for right now. Actually trading a little less volume total compared to what I would want to see at this time of the day. But this stock is like breaking week highs, month highs, etc. This thing's been on the move. So I'll come back to this. I honestly wouldn't mind just giving this a second look. Looks pretty steady. I mean, it's kind of slow. Spread seems pretty tight still. Oh, CGIX on the gainers list. Look at this. Where is this at? This was the stock from earlier. I think it was this past week. Yeah, Monday. Gapped up, ran up, dumped back down. You figure at some point it was going to run back up, but it's been pretty low volume, kind of scattered on the book. So it's moving up right now, and based on the range over the past week, I really like that. But again, I want to see if there's anything better on the 1-minute chart. Better spread, better liquidity. Well, I may have run right into that. Fossil's moving up kind of slow, more of a level 1 trade, but we'll take slow. I mean, we'll definitely take steady. Very tight spread, liquid order book. All right, so for right now, and it is shortable. So if it totally goes the other way. All right, got IQ on the gainer side, another familiar name, at least for myself and a few of us inside the trading room. This was called out earlier today, and at least coming back to it right now, it's completely filled the gap back from August 13th here. Getting pretty close, at least, if not full gap fill. It's still kind of near the highs, and I like that part. When I look at IQ, I'll look at HUYA. These stocks have moved in the past together, not always every instant, but you can see on the chart, on the daily chart, even a very similar double top, so to say, or rather 1 minute chart. But yeah, for what it's worth, going into the close, I don't mind putting this on as well. I feel like if I do that for every stock on this list, though, on the gainer side, we're going to end up with a pretty big list. MRNS. I see Shell. That's, I think, an EV stock, if I'm not mistaken. I want to take a look at that. Ooh, nice run up to the highs just before, but then it dumped right back down. This is definitely more of like a level 4 to 5 stock in terms of difficulty. Yeah, for right now, we'll pass. Just wanted to take a quick look. All right, we'll hop over to losers. I'm not expecting a whole lot on this side. We'll probably be able to get like 1 or 2. Big lots. I want to see if Michael D, I want to see if he's been trading this today. I know this is one of his bread and butter stocks inside our trading room. Ended up making a big, no pun intended, drop off. I guess that was kind of intended. But, for right now, it's just kind of flat, not doing a whole lot here. LI. We'll look at LI. I mean, we followed this stock all week on the way up, and finally, it's continuing to crap on the way down here. So, yeah, I like this. I liked it actually earlier this morning, although I didn't trade it. I put this on my list going into the morning. Obviously, I kind of wish I took that short, but we ended up doing well across the board otherwise. For what it's worth right now, LI will look to see if this keeps going. For as much as this dropped, there's still might be some room to drop, but you'll have to ask, where's support? Where could this potentially bounce from? A 1750? It would be pretty possible that we see it test that price at least. High back from August 24th, back from Tuesday of this week. Monday this week, I'm sorry. 1720. Closing print, though, 1709. So if it breaks below 1750, wouldn't shock me if this gets close or even a 1709 or 1710, that closing price. Michael said he finally got out of his short position on the big lots trade. I want to take a look at that really quickly. Like I was saying, it's one of Michael's bread and butter stocks, so it looks like he killed it on that trade. Very nice, Michael. Let us know where you ended up jumping in. Got the UNFI here on the loser side as well, dropping off steadily. Looks good. We'll go through the rest of the losers list. We'll see if there's anything looking even sharper. VBIV, what goes up comes back down. That's not surprising, at least based off essentially the pump and dump move from yesterday. VKTX, it's near the lows. I could just tell right away, just kind of slow. Time here, shortable stock. This was a really good stock from what is it, even Wednesday? I'm losing track of my days. From Wednesday of this past week, I got to go back on the 1 minute chart for this at least, but we ended up seeing Time make like a really nice run up in pre-market. And that's where I say, guys, listen, if there's a stock that's shortable and it craps out the other way, like I've been saying, well, don't you think it would be a really good short opportunity? This was one of the best trades of the week, Time, on the way down at least. But yeah, for right now, we'll pass on this today. All right, NEO. I was going to get to this. NEO is definitely going on our list given the activity, not just today, but from the last few days. More notably, though, we ended up seeing the stock drop off. I ended up picking up like 20 cents on the short. I could have had a lot more on the trade. I was in from 1898 off this breakdown here. Half-size position. I wasn't really looking for huge profit, but I ended up closing out right over the opening bell print, 1880. Figured it was going to consolidate there for a bit, but it ended up shaking around and then dropping. Really nice continued move on the way down. But yeah, definitely NEO will put on our list going into the afternoon. Probably be near the top alongside that play stock. All right, folks, if there is anything else up, down, left, right, 10% or more, anything breaking out, breaking down right now, just let me know. I got from James here, actually, just to begin, PPSI. Just popped. He took a dime on the trade. Stock, pretty much this whole week, back from Tuesday and Wednesday, we ended up trading it. Is it finally going to make its big run up here, James? Ended up making a little pop and drop back 2 days ago, like I'd said, and then dumped off. I just think a little low volume. I'm happy you took the dime, James, and so nice exit, if anything. For right now, I'll keep this on the side. I like the recent activity. Just want to see more of it. Take a look at some side list stocks. WKHS maybe. I haven't checked in on this just over the last like 45 minutes. Nice drop off from earlier this afternoon. News came out on WKHS. I guess like a bad report regarding their either safety or maybe their navigation with the EV. Yeah, it says Workhorse shares dip following Barron's article highlighting critical quality issues, including poor navigation software and substandard construction. Or an EV stock, WKHS. Right now, they're not doing a whole lot. I just wanted to look at that briefly, but for right now, we'll pass. Tradable stock. Guess we'll check out the airlines. I know Kathleen earlier this afternoon had called out JetBlue near the highs. It was a slower stock, but great call from her at the time. I look more into UAL or DAL, right? A little faster moving. Delta is looking better, stronger on the way up at least. I mean, it's near the highs, right? I'd rather focus on a Delta here perhaps, but let's see if there's anything looking better. Ron says XPEV at the low of the day. If you can get the shares to short it, but it's an IPO. So, right now, this dropping off, we don't know how far this will continue to drop. It could be a good dead cat bounce, setup. So, you know what? Given the volatility, I don't mind tagging this on at the end of the list here, Ron. Hopefully this does just that. Kind of holds from around 22 and then inches back up. Wouldn't be a bad idea. All right, we have from PC Solution here on YouTube joining us here live. Welcome aboard. He says he's asking Snap. Again, tradable stock. It's been moving up generally with the market all day, right? So it's up 1+%. Moving up well, tight spread. If you made money on Snap consistently over the last last few weeks with this moving up right now, it wouldn't be a bad stock to put on your personal list. Again, I'd say the same with a lot of those stocks that are moving up with the market. Perhaps, Delta we were looking at, perhaps a few others as well. Did I mention Peloton? No, I did not. But now that you had mentioned that, Mike, I will, because Peloton was breaking all-time highs earlier today, right? So with that, obviously, we traded this on the way up. I called it out off 77, and it was a few instances here. I expected here to hold, but then when it recracked over 77, I didn't take the trade, but I was hoping for the push to make a new high. Obviously, did not get it. Speaking of pushing to make a new high, look where the SPY is right now, getting close to, I think, magic 350 once again. Then Michael says RKT might run late. I was looking at that earlier, Michael, and actually looking into it. I'll tell you. I was looking for the entry on RKT off of 28, and I had my stop limit order set. It didn't fill me. Can you believe that? I was watching this like a hawk, and I called it out. I said RKT 28. Once it popped right here, it just flew. I didn't have a chance to jump in. It just didn't fill me in time. So this would have been a really nice trade, and actually, it's kind of holding near the highs for what it's worth right now. So kind of like XPEV, new IPO, and it's one that trades a lot of volume. So, I'll put this on our list with that in mind. Good call. All right, so I guess with that in mind, we will finish up because I don't want to make too big of a list. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Actually, a pretty big list for a Friday afternoon. From Chuck, he's saying ANY. Well, ANY is on our list. But if you're calling it out, maybe, nope. Nah, I was hoping it was going to make a new pop there, Chuck, with you calling it out. But yeah, this one's on our list already. Looks, still kind of strong near the highs. The volume kind of waned off from the afternoon meeting here from when we started. So hopefully it just doesn't, tank or just flatten out. But yeah, we'll keep this in mind too. All right, folks. So for the meantime here, we have a big list. We're going to try and chop this list down right inside class later on this afternoon, actually coming up in about 10 or so minutes. So I'm going to post and tweet the picks. I'm going to post and tweet the link coming up for class. And then aside from that, for all of us streaming on social media, as usual, guys, if you'd like to learn more about Cyber Trading University, the online trading room, our online classes that I'm referring to right now, make sure first and foremost that you guys like, subscribe, notify yourself right to our YouTube channel. At least you'll have a good chance of knowing when we're live, when we're not, just the best chance to join us there. Aside from that, though, feel more than free to join us inside our live trading room. I know that Fausto and I know that Rich will be taking you guys going into the close. Alrighty, I'll talk to you guys in class coming up very shortly. Take care.